everybody, this is Jewelyn. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another weekend check-in. There's a lot of commotioning happening right now. It is a beautiful day, Monday here in Santa Monica, California. But by the time this video goes live, I will be driving back to Las Vegas for the work week. I have one neighbor doing yard work. I have another neighbor doing ongoing construction. But I can't help myself to be out here with the plant collection and with the fountain in the background. So I hope you guys enjoy this week's check-in. I've been home for a week now. I'll be home for 9 days in between 2 Las Vegas work weeks, and I am trying my best to stay positive. There's a lot of things that's been happening in the past week since I've been home. I'm home for a total of 9 days in between my 2 Las Vegas work weeks. And I will share more on my vlog channel about my life in Los Angeles and just kind of everything going on with my Pilates life, being on hold with the city and the state of California closing down the gyms again and the fitness centers. But I am staying positive and I am keeping myself busy with the channels and with the collection and doing all things plant life. In today's video, I wanted to share with you my plant of the week. I purchased 2 plants. I will share the larger plant that I picked up yesterday in a separate video. I'm going to be splitting it up and taking it apart. So sound off in the comments down below if you can guess what kind of plant I purchased. I will share with you the first one that I got, and then we'll do the second one in a whole separate video. I did some plant shopping over the weekend just to get out of the house. I went into 2 different directions. I went about 20-30 miles north inland of me, and then yesterday I went 50-60 miles south inland of me. So very hot temperatures in the valley at like 90 degrees. That's really hot for California compared to Las Vegas 112, which is where I did last week's check-in, which is where I will be doing next week's check-in from. So not much happening in Las Vegas, so I definitely wanted to just get out of the house here in California and just see what plant life was like. And I was able to come across this beauty, and I can't believe I found another Ripsalis to add to my collection. This was not identified, and from doing my little research on the internet, I want to say this is a Ripsalis red coral. Sound off in the comments down below if you agree with me, if you are into Ripsalises and collect them. Do you think this is a Ripsalis red coral? I was almost like thinking from afar, it kind of looked like an epiphyllum, like it could pass as an epiphyllum from far away. But I want to say that this is a Ripsalis red coral. I'll give it a spin so you can see the condition of the plant. And Ripsalises are never going to be in good condition when you get them, but you just have to look at the potential and see all the new potential babies coming up, and that's kind of what I look for, just the overall possibilities of the plant. So as you can see, this section here is not doing good, but look at all of the new growth. And being a collector, I could not pass it up, so stay tuned to see me plant this up. I'm looking forward to adding this Ripsalis to the collection. So that was one of 2 plant purchases that I made for the week. And I wanted to also share with you a beautiful bloom that I just picked up from Tanya's yard this morning. And if you watch my Planting with Jewelyn Instagram stories, you know that I recently got a plant bloom from Sonia from her Big Mother cactus, big and white. And they're both about the same size and both white, but totally from 2 separate cacti. I believe the one that Sonia has might be an epiphyllum, and then the one that Tanya has, it came from, I believe, a euphorbia. So I want to share with you what the bloom looks like and what are my plans for both of the blooms. So here is Tanya's beautiful cacti bloom. Take a look at it. Like, compared to my face and my hand, this thing is huge. It's so gorgeous. Absolutely love this thing, and I am going to put it into silica gel. And I have my silica gel container, which, by the way, by the time this video goes live, I will have another bag of silica gel, because after using this for 2 months and going on this new journey of preserving my blooms and making artwork with it, I definitely think I deserve another bag. So I purchased another bag, and it's gonna be here the day before this video goes up, so I don't have to stress out about sharing silica gel for all of my blooms that are coming into my collection and also from my friend's collection. In my silica gel bin, I have Sonia's white cactus bloom in here. It's still in the middle of drying, but I'm gonna make room for this particular bloom to go right next to it. And then when my new bag of silica gel comes in, I'm just going to transfer it into that new silica gel, and then with this silica gel I'm going to microwave it and get all of the moisture out so that it's recharged to work again and get all of the moisture out of the upcoming blooms I'm going to be putting in there. So that is my plan. Hold up this process any longer because I did pick it a couple hours ago. This opened up this morning. Tanya had another one that opened up, but she didn't know that I was on this new journey of preserving my blooms. And when she texted me a picture of it, the bloom was already done for the day. These things will only open up for one day and then that is it. So I have my pruning scissors and I'm just gonna cut the stem off because for my epiphyllum bloom, I know it's definitely a waste of time for me to preserve it. It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to try my best. As you see, this is the first time I've ever cut from it. So all of the inside of the bloom is falling apart. But I'm going to try my best to just lay it down into the silica gel and not have anything come out, and then hopefully when it does flatten down I can still keep this inside. So let's carefully put this into silica gel. I'm gonna change the point of view. You see here from this top point of view, I have Sonia's white cactus bloom in there, and I have like Hoyas and ferns in there. Make room on this side, but I have a bunch of things in here, Hoyas and ferns in here, so I'm definitely gonna have to go through everything after this video and take them out. I'm gonna pour resin after this, and I don't want to disturb the center of the bloom, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. And then now that I see these out, I can take out the Hoya blooms, some ferns. I'm gonna be using all of these in today's project. To get my Hoya blooms out of the way, I'm going to be using them in my resin projects for the day. So I can't wait to get another bag of silica gel so that I don't have to share my small blooms with my big blooms. Go ahead and cover this up. Get my Hoya Bella blooms out of the way. This will sit in this silica gel for 2 days, and then when my new bag arrives, I might transfer both of these 2 white cactus blooms into the new silica gel, and I'll use this one for my small Hoya blooms because I still have a bunch of Hoya blooms I'm trying to preserve. But the Hoya Bella blooms are so fun to work with. As long as both of my blooms are just for the most part in this silica gel, I'm not gonna get mad. And then what I'm gonna do is place back all of my dry Hoya blooms here, because what I did learn from doing this now for about 2 months is that once you take your blooms or anything that you dried in silica gel, if you don't pour it into resin right away, it will pick up moisture just sitting in the container, which I have a whole separate container of all of my dry blooms. And if you don't put it back into silica gel again overnight before you pour it in resin, it will have moisture just from like sitting and not going straight into resin, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna keep this in here because I don't want it to pick up moisture sitting in my separate container because I'm gonna use these today. So Sonia's bloom is here. I don't want to touch it, but it's still in the process of drying. These 2 are going to be drying. I'm going to use this in today's project. I'm going to cover this up and then I'll keep you posted on when I pour these into resin. I'll share that on both of my channels. While I'm here, I want to take my 2 desert rose blooms here, my adenium blooms, and I want to take them off, and I'm going to also put them into silica gel. I already have 2 in silica gel that's dried, So I just kind of twist them off like this. And then let me get the other one out. I'm gonna have to put this into silica gel too, because if they start turning brown, then they won't dry nice. So let's stick this into silica gel and then I'll put the container away. Let's make some room. This is why I need another bag of silica gel. I have a lot of blooms I'm preserving. I didn't think I would need so many silica, but after 2 months of using silica gel and always using it every week, I think I deserve another bag. So let's get these on the side because I'm going to use them in today's project. So that is what I've been doing over the past 2 months, just teaching myself and learning along the way, preserving my blooms and putting them into some fun resin pieces. And I will share my collection of artwork in a future video. Once I share me pouring and casting them into different molds, then I can share with you what I have come up with so far, and I will be probably selling them if you guys are interested, as well as gifting them to people who sign up for my Patreon. So if you're interested in becoming a Patreon, there's different tiers, and the more you invest in my Patreon, the bigger the gift I can give you along the way. Throughout the months, I will be doing certain things for my Patreons, but I would love to do little thank you gifts for my Patreons in the future for supporting my channels and my platform. This is the stem of Sonia's cactus bloom, and this is Tanya's stem of her cactus bloom. Take a look at the difference before I throw it out. But now I know that the inside of Tanya's bloom, as you see, it goes all the way down, so I have to be careful. But there's no way for me to like put this in silica gel. I have to cut the ends off, so I'm gonna dump these. But I just wanted to share at least the stem difference in both of the blooms, and I look forward to pouring resin with those beautiful blooms. And I might add some alcohol inks in the resin because it's a white bloom, so I think it'd be fun to add some color in the resin. So stay tuned. I'm looking forward to playing with Sonia's cactus bloom and Tanya's cactus bloom, because I do not have a big bloom like that coming through my collection. All of my plant babies are very small. As you can see, my pink epiphyllum is the biggest bloom that ever have come to my collection, and I have 3 more sitting dried that I will pour into resin. Other than that, the rest have been poured into resin. By the time this video goes live, I will have already picked my winner for my first giveaway, which was the first time I ever poured resin with my epiphyllum bloom. So that's pretty exciting that I get to give someone one of my first ever resin artwork. And now that I'm home here in Santa Monica in between 2 check-ins that are in Las Vegas, I want to share with you an update of my Tridescantia cuttings that have been growing in my greenhouse. And I will do a live, if not before I leave, which will probably not happen when I'm back next week. I will do a live of me getting all of my Tridescantia cuttings that I've been propagating in water, and then we're gonna plant them up into soil and put them in the greenhouse. I want to share with you what the ones that have been living in the greenhouse looks like. 6 planters that I want to share with you updates of what my propagated cuttings looks like. So here is a bunch of rooted propagated babies that were living in water vessels that I transplanted into soil a while ago, and it's doing really good. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. There's 3 4-inch planters here, and I love the progress of it. I may either fill back my planters, but for the most part, everything that is growing in my greenhouse is up for sale. So if you guys are interested in Tridescantia cuttings, I have a bunch growing in my greenhouse, and I definitely don't mind taking from my mother plants. I have 2 bottles here on my patio table here that are ready to be planted up into soil. A bunch of cuttings all around my studio, in my bathroom, in my kitchen area, in my patio, that are all rooted up and ready to get into soil. So I'm gonna do a live, I think, doing that, because I think it'll be fun and relaxing for me, and I can do a really fun Tradescantia propagation video for a live, so stay tuned for that. Planters here, I have an update of my lemon line Tradescantia cuttings. These are all fallouts that were growing probably about this small in water that I eventually moved into soil, probably in a planting with Jewelyn. And now look, it's a full plant. I may put this back with the mother plant to fill up the planter. It's living in my bathroom. If you watch my plant tour coming up this Monday, you will see the mother plant living on my windowsill. Here is some of the fallouts from my lavender Tradescantia growing out, and I may also put this back with the mother plant as well. At one point the mother plant was living in my bathroom if you watch previous plant tours. Of my Nanook cuttings growing. My mother plant in my bathroom is too full to have this be put back together with the mother plant, so this is just going to just propagate in my bathroom. All of the plant babies that I just shared with you, I definitely don't mind taking from. I know a bunch of you guys had reached out to me for Tradescantia cuttings, so if you are interested in Tradescantia cuttings or Hoya philodendrons, Sansevieras, I don't mind selling off parts of my collection, and especially if they're growing in the greenhouse, they are up for adoption. And I just wanted to share with you an previous check-in. Someone asked about propagating Nanook and what do I suggest, and this was put into water first and then transition into soil, and these were just fallouts from my mother plant, and it's been doing really good. And I've sold half of the planter to subscribers, so it's actually a lot fuller than this, so just have to be patient. As you can see, there's lots of new growth pulling in, and if you look here, there's more growth here. So it's just been fun to see my fallouts grow into new plants. If you guys see my propagating my Sansevieria cuttings in LECA, and a bunch are already back with the mother plant and filled up like my copper tone. And I have a few here that transitioned from LECA and eventually put into soil because it gave me roots, and I feel much better having me visually see the roots in LECA first and then transitioning back into soil. But I want to go ahead and pull them out and see what the current condition is, and eventually I'm just gonna stick this back into soil. So here is one of them. Take a look at that. So it just takes time. Any fallouts I have from my Sansevierias, or if I see if they're rotting, I will cut it. I will get rid of the rotting part, callus it over. I'll either stick it into LECA and have it propagate that way, and then if I am trying to save on room, I'll just do this. I'll get one nursery planter and then I'll just stick all of my Sansevieria cuttings in together. Here's another update. Propagating in water, you know, with Sansevierias, it's 50-50 where you might have rotting and then you're gonna have to cut callus and start all over again. So this copper tone doesn't have anything going on. I'll stick that back into soil. Let's see what's going on here. Here's another fallout. I put it into LECA and then eventually it got roots and then put it into soil. So that's cool. I'm gonna put that back in the planter. Here's another fun one. Into LECA, then transition to soil. I try to not touch them. I don't want to disturb the root system. Part of my original twist got ruined by the rain. Chopped it all off, and this is what I have now. One little root. So that's good. Let me pull out a few more. And then what I'm gonna do is probably just stick them into the planter that it originally came from. Here's another one too. I could actually cut this one into another section here and make a new cutting. Part of my banto. We have one more, my moonshine. Ooh, this is a fun update. We have one more. This is rooted. Yay! Success! If you look really good, you can see where I made the cut. So you just gotta be patient. It's up to you. You could go old school, stick them right into soil and let it do its thing after it calluses over, or you can put them into water propagation. I like to do semi-hydro with the leca. Keep them in there for a while, and then when you want and feel ready to, you can transition them into soil. You can put them back with the mother plant. I could have just easily transitioned them from leca back to soil, which I did for my copper tone, and I will bring up my, I don't want to bring up my copper tone because I have all of the ones that I rooted from leca I put right back into the planter, and they're just kind of stuck in between different parts I wanted to fill up. But that's a very fun update. Never did check on the roots until now. When I'm done with this video, I'm gonna stick all of these rooted cuttings back with the mother plant into a section where I feel like needs to be filled up. So that's a little fun update. Question of the day. I like to do one question every Thursday. This one was posted up a couple of weeks ago asking me about what soil do I use. I try to share the bag of the soil every time I get a new bag of soil that I bring into my collection, and anything that I do use in the collection, I try to have it in my Amazon shop. It's an affiliated link to my Amazon store, so I do make a small little percentage off of anything that you do purchase. I buy soil for a while now. Containers, if you see my potting bench Clean With Me's, you will see that I have 3 containers with soil in it with rolling wheels on it and a cover, and that's very easy for me to house my soil in, and all 3 bins are filled with soil, so I'm not going to be buying soil anytime soon. For my cactus and succulents, they have a hardier, more chunkier mix, so I'll do cactus and succulent soil mixture, and for my house plants, they will get a house plant soil mixture and a lot of perlite. And then for my coco coir mixture, I like to put orchid bark and pumice in there. All of my soil mixtures get worm castings in it, and everything is housed and organized nice on my potting bench. So I really love being able to have enough space for a potting bench in my patio. So that is going to wrap up today's video. If you're interested in any of my plant babies or interested in my art pieces that I'm going to be putting up for sale with all of my beautiful blooms cast into resin, and no matter where you live in the world, I can ship that out to you. If you want to become a Patreon, that'll just be a thank you gift along the way of supporting my channels. I'm so excited to start this new journey. I think especially for like my Pilates life basically being put on hold with the state of California closing the gyms, I have not really been in a studio teaching since March, and I think being able to create art pieces with my resin is going to be a great way for me to transition into generating more income for me, and that'll help make up for me not teaching for all of these months, which is so crazy to think. So thank goodness for plant life, and thank goodness for the channels and for all of you. For sure, without my Pilates life and being in lockdown for a couple of months, the collection has definitely helped me, and being able to keep in touch with all of you guys every day, watching a video a day, has definitely helped me, and it's been so therapeutic to be in my space in between my Las Vegas work week. Enjoyed this weekend check-in. Stay tuned because I'm so excited to share my new plant baby that I purchased yesterday. I will maybe do it on a live or another video after this or tomorrow where I take it apart, and I am looking forward to seeing how many babies I have in soil. So comment down below, what plant do you think I also purchased over the weekend. It is beautiful and sunny here in Santa Monica, California. Evie and I went to the beach this morning for a beach workout, and I've been loving the weather here. Sound off in the comments down below, what is the temperature where you live, city and state or country that you are in currently tuning in from. What's the weather like? Is it plant friendly? Able to do plant life things right now this time of the year? I know for me, I just love being out here in this space and with my fountain. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and checking in on another Thursday weekend check-in. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Subscribe for daily uploads between the main channel Monday to Thursday and the vlog channel Friday to Sunday. You get a video each and every day. Until next time, aloha from Santa Monica, California. Bye! Come back inside the house for my grandma's weekend check-in because the construction is crazy. Grandma, say hello to another weekend check-in.
Hey, hello all you out there. Just keeping in touch, and it's nice to be heard and seen and not be forgotten.
Yes, Grandma, so how was it to be in the country and take a break from being inside of the house?
Well, you know, it's very comfortable, it's very serene. I'm just doing lesser and lesser and don't have to do anything huge, but it's very comfortable right now.
Okay, so what's your plans for the week?
Thursday I'm leaving to go back to Aloha, above Honoka'a.
So in the country or a different part?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we need to go Kohala.
Another part of the country.
Right. Friday, Saturday, Sunday come back.
Okay, so you're gonna be with your sister-in-law.
Right.
So that's my papa's living sister. So by the time this video goes up, Grandma will be out of the house, back with the ohana, spending time with loved ones.
And it's the house that my son built, which I didn't get to see.
Okay, so that's gonna be very fun. And how was it to see your great-grandson?
You know, he's getting big. I mean, he was so tiny. But when he came Saturday, his cheeks is filled. He had double.
What is your plans for your plants before you leave? Are you going to water them?
Oh, of course. I always do that.
Okay.
And they're thriving and they're doing very good.
I heard your monstera gave you a new leaf as well.
Very pretty leaf came out.
Okay.
As well as the alocasia too had another beautiful leaf come out.
Okay.
So, you know, it's really giving a lot more leaf than when I was in the mainland.
Yeah, your alocasia lowrider, I mean, it's definitely doing better than my alocasia lowrider, and obviously maybe because you live in Hawaii and everything thrives on the islands.
Oh, it's really nice. It had 5 leaves, but one, you know, got dried, so there's only 4, but still they look great.
So, how was it to tune in to Plant Tour Premiere this morning? 2 in the morning your time?
Yeah, I was up from 1:30. I had my room light on and the telephone on me, but I guess I must have fallen asleep because then I heard the phone. Oh, it was 1 minute after 2 and I seen the time and I said, oh, I did get up then.
Okay, so if you are joining us for the Plant Tour premieres at 5 in the morning California time, Grandma will be in the live chat in the middle of her sleep to watch the plant premiere and say hi to everybody who shows up.
Yeah.
And by the time this video goes up, we will have one more plant tour premiere, which will be this coming Monday, which is my bathroom plant tour. So stay tuned for that.
Very good.
Okay, Grandma, well, thanks for hopping onto the channel and checking in for another weekend check-in here Thursdays on the main channel.
All right. Well, thumbs up for a very beautiful channel. Mahalo from Hilo, Hawaii.
And if you guys are interested in any of the face mask or Planting with Jewelyn merchandise, reach out to me, Planting with Jewelyn on Instagram. And these are fun, ongoing fundraisers for my grandma. So thank you, Grandma, so much for joining me. And see you soon.
Aloha.
Okay, bye, Grandma.
Bye.
Bye.